from Chicago too, which is a rough spot. Like, it's fucking cold there. People don't take any bullshit. It's a different kind of thing. You know, like, those are the kind of places that make great comics. Like, fucking cold. Like Boston, same shit.
Yes.
New York, fuck.
You
That cold
you need a little misery and a little edge.
Hong Kong, fuck you. And then
You need a
yes.
there has to be a need for comedy.
Yes.
It's like I said, it was just in Hawaii. We did shows there. I'm like, man, these people are laid back.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great comics. There's a few good comics that come from Hawaii, but not a lot.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
It's that. It's hard to be upset.
They have a lot of local humor. Like the comics from Hawaii, I've seen some comics from Hawaii, and they talk about local stuff. You know?
Yeah, just like a cruise ship.
Yeah, sort
kind of like that.
Well,
yeah, like the guys who live there, they do their whole act as local.
Yeah, and a lot of times they like a morning DJ guy too, or something like that. And
think about it. That's a pretty great life.
Pretty fucking great place to live.
Life. You're a comic and a DJ in Hawaii. Jesus, hey, you beat it. You did it.
You really did.
First time I went to Hawaii, I was in Maui. I was working at some stand-up gig booked through the Ice House, and I get off stage, and this guy comes up, and we're talking, and I said, "Oh, where are you from?" He goes, "I'm from Pittsburgh." I go, "Really? What did you do there?" He goes, I was a plumber." I go, "What do you do here now?" He goes, "I'm a plumber." I go, "How do you make it from a plumber in Pittsburgh to Maui?" He goes, "Well, one day I woke up and I realized I could be a plumber in Hawaii or I could be a plumber in Pittsburgh." I'm like, makes all the sense in the world.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. If I was a plumber, I'd move there.
Yeah, I know a guy who teaches jiu-jitsu there who used to teach he actually gave me my first lesson ever in Los Angeles. And after a while, he was like, fuck this. What am I doing? And I could teach in Maui. You know, and the thing about like a place like Maui, there's enough people. Like, you need everything. Like, it's not like Lanai we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's a weird spot. Because there's only 3,000 people on the whole island. It's like a good theater show. Like, you take a good theater show, and those people empty out, and that's the whole civilization. And then there's people that fly in because it's a resort area. But it's...
I was in Kauai one time, too, and it's similar. Like, after I got off stage, I was like, hey, where can I go to get something to eat? They're like, there's no place to go.
You got to go in the ocean and catch it. That's where Laird lives.
Who does?
Laird Hamilton. He lives in Kauai.
I don't know Laird Hamilton.
That's the fucking coffee you're drinking, bro.
Oh, this guy.
We talked about him for about a half hour earlier.
I'm bad with names. Does that work? Is that a good enough excuse? I'm bad with names.
Laird Hamilton. He's married to Gabriella Reese.
Oh, that's the guy.
Giant Aquaman motherfucker.
Great coffee.
Yeah, he makes killer coffee.
Who thought to put turmeric?
Kauai is a spot that I need to get to. I've never been to that one. I've never been to that island. I've only been to Honolulu very briefly during a layover. You know, when I was actually the first time I was going on Lanai, we flew in Honolulu first, and then you have to take like a puddle jumper to get to Lanai.
Oh, yeah.
But Lanai is like, there's nobody there, man. And you go on the beach, there's like fucking 8 other families on the beach, and everybody's just like, everybody's just chill.
I never sleep better.
Oh, my God.
I mean, when
relaxing.
when I was in Hawaii, I would go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8 in the morning. I'd sleep straight through.
You feel
I'm
great.
Like, this never happened.
And you feel great.
Ever.
Yeah.
I come back to LA, I'm immediately getting headaches. Immediately. I get I'm like, God damn it. So I go get a drink, and I order a Mai Tai.
Believe it or not, Maui and Hawaii in general, I think they have some wonky weed laws. I don't think weed's legal there.
No, it's not. It's medical is, I think.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Medical. Life is my condition.
I know.
I know what I need it for. Life!
Yeah. But I have fans there, so they just give me some.
Uh-huh.
Do you still ever take pot from fans? You get afraid?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Just, you're asking for it.
You are, right?
Yeah.
I thought I'd give you a little extra taste. I put some acid on there for you. I don't need that, right?
My good friend Ari Shafir dosed Bert Kreischer when they were doing a podcast together.
So that's real?
That's real.
I thought that was a joke.
No. He gave him Molly, dropped it in his drink.
So, was there hard feelings over that?
Oh, yeah. There was a real problem.
I thought that was all a joke.
No, there's no jokes with us. We don't do jokes.
I mean, I just saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's real. All that shit's real.
No.
Yeah.
So they're not pals?
Oh, they're back.
Oh, okay.
The wife hates him still, though. Bert's wife's still very upset.
I would have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
I only
it's a real issue.
Yeah, I don't. Doing something like that, that's not right. That's like forcing.
He knows. He knows it's not right. What's really interesting is we were all joking around about it. Like, this is the only business where you can dose your friend. We all joke around about it, laugh about it more. Nothing happens, and he actually got a bump in his career. Like, he started selling out places faster, and when he was going places, Ari would be doing shows, and people would yell out, "Dose me, Ari! Dose me!" So now he's known for dosing people. And before that, Ari used to do something, I should say allegedly, because this thing, which may or may not have happened, is very illegal. But he would do in places where weed was very illegal. He would play a game called Find the Edible. So he'd post it on Twitter. He'd give people hints, and he would leave some fucking nuclear edible, like to some North Dakota guy who's going to find it, who probably doesn't get any real weed. And he's going to get one of those stars of death. And he got in trouble, I think, in Minnesota. Again,
really?
Allegedly. Because I don't think they ever found any of the things he was talking about. So maybe it was all just a prank. Let's go with that.
Those edibles, man.
Oh, yeah.
My brother had something one time, and he goes, "Jimmy, be careful. It's called the creeper. That's what they call it." And I'm like, I have a high tolerance. Don't worry. So I ate one. I'm like, nothing. So I did it. I had another one.
Oh, no.
And about 45 minutes later, we're at a campground talking to my parents, and all of a sudden I can't remember how to breathe. I'm like, how do I?
It's gotta.
And I how do I? And I'm so scared. And I just go, I have to go make a phone call. I'm at a campground. I gotta make a phone call. So I just go to my car, and I'm just laying down, and the next thing I know, I hear my wife behind me go, "Are you okay?" I go, I'm not good. We have to go. She goes, let's go say goodbye to your parents. I can't say goodbye. Let's just go. Start driving. Start driving.
No, you couldn't deal with saying goodbye. Oh, my God.
So, yeah, turns out there is some danger to that drug.
Oh, well, there's danger with schizophrenia. There's a real danger. With people having schizophrenic breaks when they take high doses of edibles.
Really?
And even smoking it. Yeah. Well, you were talking about when you get the withdrawals.
Yeah.
I don't get the withdrawals, but there's a small percentage of people that do. There's a small percentage.
Yeah. So that must be like, so people are like, "Oh, aren't you going to quit?" Because no, if I stop
stay high.
If I dropped drinking coffee when I went overseas, I would get headaches too, right? So there's a lot of things like that.
Yeah, coffee is one thing that's addictive that we all just admit.
It's just
and we just accept it.
Yeah.
And we're addicted to it. Because it doesn't really change your state that much
right.
where you're like freaking out. Like, you never drink a cup of coffee, you're like, "Man, I can't get up." You're never on the ground tweaking. But I know a couple people who have had legitimate schizophrenic breaks.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You know a couple?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, legitimate ones. Where, like, something happened, and then they were never the same again.
What is schizophrenia?
Literally. Yeah.
Well, I've heard about that with acid, but I never heard about that with...
Well, it's not that much difference. When you take a high-level dose of...
It can get psychedelic.
Of edibles, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that.
It's a different thing.
Where you feel like you're tripping a little and you're experiencing the...
God save me from the comments, but people get mad at me when I talk about this. But there's a thing that happens when you... Because I've talked about it so many times, and I know I'm a repetitive fuck. But when you eat marijuana, your body produces something called 11-hydroxymetabolite. It's 4 to 5 times more psychoactive than THC. So as it's processed by the liver, you get something that's not psychoactive in the smoked form. So when you smoke it, you get THC. But when you eat it, you get 11-hydroxymetabolite. It's much, much stronger. Much stronger than THC. And it's a totally different sensation. You know, like people talk about the body high. Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh, like you feel it everywhere. Yeah, you really tweak out too. But small doses of that are wonderful. Like a little, like they have these, Jumbo has these sprays. I don't have one with me here. I used to have one on the desk. But it's a THC spray. Just a couple of pumps. And
really?
Yeah, it's like a breath spray. Couple of pumps. And it's like, God, you feel great. You feel wonderful.
Really?
Yeah. But if you take 12 pumps, I took 12 pumps once. And I did a podcast with Sam Harris. In the middle of, I took the pumps like 20 minutes before he got here. And then in the middle of the podcast, I'm like, holy shit, I don't know if I can. Thank God Sam is like a super articulate guy, so I could just kind of like throw a question his way, and he would just and while he's expanding and talking, I was pretending to listen, but really just trying to keep it together. Trying to keep it together and make sure that I try to sober myself up. I was like trying to force myself into a state of sobriety.
I have a...
It was about 1,000 milligrams. Yeah.
I have a hard enough time paying attention to conversations when I'm not.
Yeah.
When I'm completely sober, I'll lose my train of thought.
Me too.
And I'm like, what are they? Or I'll
Especially
be...
if I'm bored, right?
Yeah. Not even that. Even if I'm super interested, I'm interviewing someone, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm not listening. I'm thinking about that thing. And then they stop talking, and I'm like, ha!
Oh, you can't do that. That's the cardinal sin.
Oh, it's the...
That's one thing I don't think I do. At least I can't remember. I try to really lock in.
It's me too, but then my mind will just get, oh. So I was interviewing Tulsi, and so we came to this important part of the conversation. It was about how she had switched or something about some policy she had. So I asked her about it, and I know people are waiting. And there was a documentarian guy in there with her, and his phone went off at that moment. I asked the question, but it didn't go off like a ring. It went off like a scene from a movie. So now I'm like, what is that? Who's talking? And then all of a sudden I'm like, what is? And then after I realize that it's this guy's phone. It's a scene from a movie. And then but Tulsi's been talking this whole time.
Oh no!
So then I come back and then she stops, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck she just said.
Well, that's why you don't want someone else in the room while you're having conversations.
No doubt.
One time I was talking to a guy, and his girlfriend was sitting right there, and she just kept spinning in her chair and playing with her phone. Spinning in her chair and playing with her phone.